15, stand by to roll. Roll. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. On air. 10 on the titles. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cue presenters.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome. From atop the Eternal Citadel, this is the WKRP Evening News with me, Hatchel Mad Cow. Our top story tonight. Agents of the High Elf Intelligence Agency Drug Enforcement Task Force, known of as the Obsidian Order of High Elves, revealed today that evidence of a new type of drug recently put into circulation has been discovered in Dragonwake. It wasn't hard to figure out, said one member of the OOHE. Well, look at these guys, and we knew something was going down. A spokesman for the agency said the drug, which goes by the street name Charlie Horse, appeared to work differently depending on the user. For High Elves, the spokesman said it makes them appear to be certifiably insane, while in Dark Elves, given they are already certifiably insane, it just makes them cross-eyed. While Emperor Karl Franz has ordered the OOHE task force to investigate the source of this new drug, he insisted that source would not be the guy standing next to him, but they might want to try the dwarf down the hall. In regard to the investigation into the origins of this new drug plaguing the land, in Trace we spoke to Season Hubley, local representative of the Dark Elf Coalition for the Prevention of Glazed Overlooks, also known of as Dagfik Pogul. Yeah, whatever, man. We asked Ms. Hubley if she had managed to make any progress in the continuing effort to improve the overall positive recognition factor of Dark Elf persona, image, and presentation, particularly in regard to Charlie Horse. In response, she said, "Say what? Charlie who? Listen, man, Charlie don't surf. And we ain't got time for all that jazz. We're just trying to keep up with those high elves in Dragonwake, if you know what I mean." Mr. Ed had no comment. In Death Peak today, two members of the local Ent population challenged each other to a duel to the death. Confusion set in among onlookers when, at the start of the duel, the two Ents proceeded to plant their roots down while facing in the opposite direction, which kind of made starting the fight rather difficult. One observer on the scene told Headline News that now the two angry and more belligerent tree trunks would have to wait until the next rainy season before they could uproot and reposition to complete the duel. Ents, he said. Compared to Ents, Chappas are geniuses. Local members of the Suit Wing Woodspirit community have taken to hovering around taunting the pair, which they call Plank 1 and Plank 2, while nearby members of the Bloody Sun Stompas cheered for a fight which never actually took place. Mr. Ed had no comment. In the Inevitable City yesterday, Destruction Emperor Jarznak issued a new decree stating that all residents of the Inevitable City must change their underwear on a daily basis. Furthermore, he said, in order to ensure everyone was doing this, they must now wear their underwear on the outside of their clothing. Members of the Sorcerers community immediately began to laugh out loud, for they knew they never wore underwear. Members of the Black Orc community simply scratched their heads and asked, "What is underwear?" While members of the Witch Elf community merely shrugged their shoulders and said, "We've been doing that for the last 200 years. Headline News will stay abreast of this situation. Again in Death Peak, Headline News investigated a group of dwarves, known of as the Valians, said to be shorter and smaller than regular dwarves, as if such a thing were possible. Colloquially referred to as the Dwarfs of the Dwarves, rumor has it they were exiled to Death Peak on order of Thorn Grudgebearer himself in order to prevent the regular dwarves from ever having to answer the question, "What the hell happened?" To properly illustrate the true scale of the Valians, Headline News... Wait, let me try that again. To properly illustrate the true scale of the Valians, Headline News hired a 4'2" witch elf to stand next to some of them. Later she tried to stab one of the dwarves, but constantly missed by swinging over the tops of their heads. The Bitterstone Thunderers had no comment, but nearby a group of Bloody Sun Stompas gave 2 thumbs up. In Karake Peaks today, Dark Elf fashion mogul Silset Ibunwin displayed his new line of clothing for summer formal wear. A slight deviation from last year's Cinderfall Skank line of evening wear, this year's creations are billed as perfect for the dark elf on the go, and as appropriate dress for any hoedown. When Shaman Lord Gazbag asked what a hoedown was, both of Ebenwin's models immediately hit the floor. In Cadron Valley yesterday at the Temple of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, refugees from an orc attack arrived seeking aid. No aid was available, however, as all the dwarves living at the temple had fled the territory after seeing this picture.
Damn!
Recently, the Empire was graced with a rare lunar eclipse, most readily visible in Safari as seen here. The event drew attention from across the Empire, but most notably from Empire House Representative member Sheba Flaxen B. Speaking from Safari with a group of eclipse viewers, Flaxen B had this to say. A full moon is that complete rounded circle, like that one, up there, which is made up mostly of gases. And could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? Because it is almost impossible to go near the sun, as you will see shortly.
I'm sorry, what the hell did you just say?
That's a direct quote, and sometimes these jokes write themselves. Also in Safari, the high elf cult known as supporters of the white moon over the little green one with the ugly face held a rally protesting the eclipse, claiming the little green moon should never pass in front of the white one because the little green one makes, and we are quoting here, a mean face which glares at us and thus violates our safe space. We spoke to cult leader Silran White Moon, appropriately named I suppose, who stated his followers would no longer stand for it and then ordered one of his minions to start mixing Kool-Aid. Headline News had planned to do a follow-up to this story after the eclipse, but apparently there will be no need. In Karak 8 Peaks last week, Chef Gordon Ramsay presided over the 5th annual Orc Chop of Foot Boiling Stew Cook-Off competition. To the right in the video you can see last year's winner, Gurk the Stinky, watching over the event. Last year's loser, Slurm Shabuki, can be seen floating around in the pot. Of the Orc Chop of Foot Boiling Stew Cook-Off competition, Chef Ramsay said this.
That's fucking wrong!
Mr. Ed had no comment. Oh, man. In Avalorn, Headline News visited the remote Temple of Aisha to witness the enactment of a yearly ritual conducted on site by the priestesses in residence. The spiritual ceremony, originally titled Entering the Tunnel of Love, but later renamed the Admonition of Releasing the Pond Far, can be seen here. Headline News couldn't quite figure out what admonition and releasing the pond far was actually supposed to mean, but then one of the initiates told us just to look at Isa's statue and into what her statue is staring at. This kind of reminded us of something. However, we asked one of the priestesses to explain the purpose of the yearly ritual. Her reply was, listen, this place was originally built by men, so put two and two together. In the inevitable city, Headline News found a champion of corn kneeling before a Slaanesh temple maid. Apparently he was asking for directions to the Temple of Aisha. And there is a joke here, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. In Trace last week, Headline News found Empire cross-country endurance running champion Sally Forth, apparently training for some future event. We asked Miss Forth if she was training for a future competition, but she said no. She was just out trying to break the long-distance running record previously set by Forrest Gump. We tried to explain to Miss Forth that Forrest Gump was a fictional character and thus didn't really do anything, but she brushed us off with a snide comment about her friend Jenny and already having broken the record set by Lieutenant Dan. Oh, man. In Outdorf yesterday, rock group Green Day played a surprise concert in the town square. Passers-by shouted out requests, such as, please stop, get bent, and you guys suck. Scholars from the Brightwizard College claim they have discovered what they are calling the source of all greenhouse gas emissions polluting the Empire. Turns out it wasn't the factories in Karaza Karak as previously believed, but rather this one cave into chaos waste. What the scholars have yet to determine is whether these emissions are from a natural source or just a result of the local orc tribes indulging in too much Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
In the Badlands, historians thought they had found the famed long-lost mirror of Queen Hamada Hotep of Shadazar. However, upon reflection, yeah, I said it. Upon reflection, the historians realized they had only found the mirror of Madonna. At the Flightmaster station in Karazakarak yesterday, a passenger was arrested immediately after attempting to board one of the copter flights to Altdorf. When asked why he was arrested, the man stated he wasn't sure, as all he had done was call shotgun while stepping on board. In Prague earlier today, a music shop caught fire and burned down. It was said scores were injured. Sometimes I can't help myself. And finally, the Reichland Institute of Science and Technology released the results of yet another survey. This one finding that men do have better navigational skills than women. Local women were going to protest the results of this study, but they could not find the Reichland Institute of Science and Technology.
Women.
Oh, man. Now on to the weather with Ollie Williams.
Everybody looks like ants!
And now sports with Lito Jockstrap.
In motorball news yesterday, while playing against the Mars Combine All-Stars, Alina Battle Angel failed to score a goal but did manage to kill all of the competition. Judges awarded her a default win. Over the rollerball, where that trend was continued as Houston, led once again by Jonathan E., eliminated the entire New York team on their way to winning the World Championship. In baseball news, fans of the Springfield Isotopes went a little overboard with the celebration of their team winning the pennant, racing around the ball field and at one point even causing a backstop to explode. And finally, in high school football news, the Ridgemont High Timberwolves defeated the Soggy Bottom Oak Boys 42-0 to take home the regional championship. News, weather, and sports every hour right here on WKRP in the Inevitable City.
And in gaming news, why Stellar Blade will be the greatest game ever.
Charlie, don't surf!